Welcome to the Pogcast, episode 4, special presentation, The Haunting of Pog's House. Ooh. Ooh. Yes, we'll talk about the Super Bowl. We'll talk about the Grammys that just happened. But first, I have to tell you something that has turned my life, flipped it right upside down. I have a ghost in the apartment. Yes, the apartment I live in. It was just revealed to me that there is a ghost here, and he revealed it to me in a very strange way. This is the haunting of Pog's house. So I got home from being out and about. When I was out and about, I had a left headphone in this earbud. When I got home, took it out, put it in my headphone case with my right headphone, which was always in there. Walked upstairs, had some winter clothes on, so I was going to change out of those. I put my pants on the top shelf in my closet, so I went, took my shirt off, took my pants off. As I was folding my pants, the iPhone case fell out of my pocket, always in my view, plopped on the floor right in front of me. Didn't move, just plop right on the floor, didn't open. It was perfect though, because now I knew they needed to be charged, so I took that headphone case and put it on my bedside table, plugged it in, with both headphones in there, 100% confirmed. I then went and put on clothes that were on a bench on the other side of my bedroom, put on my shorts, put on a tank top, kind of like what I'm wearing right now, and walked out of the bedroom, not to return to the bedroom until later on that night. I carried on with my evening. I made dinner, I was in the living room, watched some TV. I was getting ready for the Leafs game to start at 7. As one does when they're relaxing, I was scrolling through my phone. I was watching some TikTok videos, some Instagram reels, and I noticed the sound all of a sudden stopped working on my iPhone. I could kind of hear something faintly. I thought something was wrong with my speakers. I held it up to my ear, and nothing was coming out of the speakers. So I was like, where is that sound coming from? It's very faint. It went along with the video I was watching, but I could not locate where it was coming from. It almost sounded like when someone's holding an iPhone AirPod and they're listening to something, and you can kind of hear when they're listening to it because it's on too loud. But I didn't think much of it. I just put my phone down and continued watching the game. Later, during one of the commercial breaks, I wanted to watch a video again. The same thing happened. The sound cut out. But this time, it showed my AirPods trying to connect to my iPhone. And I was like, that's strange because they're in my bedroom and they're charging. So how could they be connecting? They need to be out of the case to connect. So I thought, that's strange. I'll go check on them next commercial break because the game started up again. So I'm watching the game. Commercial break. I go to grab my phone. I'm like, oh, wait. I'm supposed to go check on my headphones. I'm going to go grab them, see what's going on. My phone's glitching out. I go grab my headphones, walk into the bedroom for the first time since I left earlier. Open up the case. Both headphones were gone. They're gone. I went, what the hell? I was mad about it. I don't know why I smiled there. It's like, what? Where are my headphones? So I start looking on the floor. I start looking in the bedroom because that's the last time I was with the headphones. And then I stop myself and I say, no, the headphones were in the case. So then I start freaking myself out a little bit. I'm like, huh. But I'm going to play it out. I'm going to check everywhere. I'm going to check everywhere just because if I do find them, I can at least be like, okay, I'm an idiot, blah, blah, blah. I must have left them in the kitchen, or I must have forgotten that I did that. Something to jog my memory. I checked all my clothes that I had been wearing before I came in the house. I checked under the bed, on the floor, under my dresser. Came back in here. I checked the couch. I checked on the floor. I checked under the rug, under everything. Went in the kitchen, checked everywhere in the kitchen that I might have put them down. Bathroom, nothing. Go back in the bedroom. Now I'm pissed. I'm like, where the F are these headphones? I yanked everything out of my closet. And that's where I put my pants. So I was like, okay, well, if they fell out of the AirPod case while they were in my pants, they might have fallen into the closet, I suppose. So I'm pulling everything out of the closet. I'm checking every bag. I'm shaking everything out. Nothing. I'm about to give up. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I don't want to think about this anymore. It's kind of freaking me out. Where are my headphones? I'm going to walk out the bedroom. I get this urge. I look down. The only place I didn't check, because it was quite an unrealistic place for me to check. You can be the judge of that, but I had a laundry basket full of folded clean clothes that I haven't touched in days. I would have done this laundry about 4 or 5 days before. I still had a bunch of clothes that I hadn't worn yet, underwear, socks. So I was going through those first before I started putting away these clean clothes. Also, I'm lazy. So I was like, I'm not putting away these clothes yet. I had that tucked away in a cubby in a separate part of the closet. I had tucked away. Okay, and I hadn't touched it 4 days, especially for sure did not touch it that day because, like I said earlier, I grabbed the clothes that I was wearing off a bench. I was reusing clothes. I say, okay, I guess I'll check this laundry basket because it's the only thing I haven't checked. I pull it out from the closet, cubby, pull it out, and I don't see anything on top of it. So I just have the urge to lift up all the clothes from the bottom and pull and lift it up. I do that at the very bottom of the laundry basket, in the middle of the laundry basket, my right headphone. Not even the one I was using that day. The one that was in its case the whole time. The right headphone at the bottom of the laundry bin. No left headphone in sight. Just that one headphone. I was like, oh shit. Might be a ghost here. There might be a ghost in the house that is taking my headphones and hiding them around the apartment. So then I start freaking out. I call my dad. My dad's like, yeah, it sounds pretty freaky. Call my sister because I knew she'd meet me at my level. She's quite, I know she's into paranormal stuff and she believes in that kind of stuff. So I call her. She's like, yeah, that seems way too bizarre, unexplainable how that headphone got there. So she came over and we looked for the other headphone. We couldn't find it. And then we also did this. She probably won't like that I'm showing this, but I'll just show a short little clip of us asking if there's anyone here.
If there's something in this room, please knock once. Did you take Jamie's AirPod? Knock once. If there's a spirit in this room, please give us a sign. In this home right now and command them to flee. Every spirit that is not of God must leave. Nothing evil or unclean can enter this place. I think that there's nothing here. I think right now.
It didn't get super real for me. It did feel real. It felt really kind of spooky and creeped. I felt really creeped out. I felt kind of vulnerable. I'm in my apartment and something's moving my stuff around. I didn't like the feeling. So I called my younger brother. He was the first one who I would call a denier of this very specific situation. That's when it made me feel like I was in a horror movie. Because in the horror movie, usually you might have a couple people that believe you. But for instance, in some movies, you'll have the wife who's seeing things around the house. And she tells her husband, baby, there's something in the house. It's moving stuff around. I'm seeing things. I'm seeing this thing. It grabbed my shirt. It was in the closet. And the husband will go, oh, there's something in the closet? Let me take a look. Oh, hey, is there anyone in there? You're just seeing things, honey. That's what my brother was. He's the denier. He's like, are you sure you just didn't forget that you did your laundry that day? Oh, do you have a second pair of headphones? Maybe that's from the other pair of headphones you have. I don't have a second pair of headphones, John. You're adding stuff to the story. You're adding things to the story to try to make it make sense for you, but it just doesn't make sense that the headphone was in the laundry basket and the other one's gone when they were both being charged in the case. In the case. See, I was going crazy. I'm starting reliving it now. I'm starting to go crazy again. So my dad offered. I felt too creeped out to stay here. It was all this happened when it was dark out at nighttime, and I wasn't brave enough to stay here. So my dad said, you can just come sleep here. It's closer to my work even. So I was like, you know what? I'll bring my work clothes there. Just gather my bearings, go get a sleep at his apartment, and then I'll come back tomorrow and we'll figure this out. So go to his apartment, sleep, work, think about the ghost all day. I'm at work just driving around thinking about the ghost all day, thinking about what? How do I explain this to people? And I feel like I use a lot of good details that timestamp a lot of things and the order of things that happen where you can't really poke holes in it. I know the headphones were in there. I know I put the left one in there because I know exactly what song I was listening to in the car when I put it in there. I was listening to Little Piece of Heaven by Avenged Sevenfold, and I didn't want the song to get disturbed by me putting the headphone in the case because it's happened before where it tries to pair and then it de-pairs from my car and then I can't listen to the end of the song. But I remember thinking I'm going to risk it. And I opened it up, put it in there. I can still see the Avenged Sevenfold logo on my car dashboard while I closed it and put it in my pocket. I know for a fact both headphones were in there. And I mean, you can believe that or not. But I'm telling you the facts. I'm the only one who was there. So you can choose to believe my series of events as I'm telling them. And you can choose to believe, oh, maybe he forgot that he did his laundry that night. or that he went into that laundry bin, that untouched laundry bin with the perfect laundry. I know I didn't. So I come back the next night. My sister offered to sleep over, try to get a night under my belt, maybe feel a little less freaked out if she was here. And then once I see like, okay, we're good, nothing's happening, it's fine. So she came over, she stayed over. We watched some stand-up comedy. We had some wine. I was having a good night, and I actually felt comfortable enough to go sleep in my own bed. So we were getting ready for bed. She was going to sleep on the couch. I have a pillow on the bed here. I'll show a quick little photo here. I have a photo on the couch. I have a pillow on the couch, and so that pillow's there all the time. I don't move it into the bedroom. I have a different pillow in my bedroom, so that's kind of like my backrest. So I went to move that out of the way because my sister was going to sleep on the couch. I went to move that out of the way. I grabbed it from the top. The bottom of the pillowcase was where it opens up, was facing the ground. All of a sudden, something comes sliding out from the pillowcase, from the middle of the pillowcase, and boop, onto the ground. I looked down on the ground. The other AirPod was in my pillowcase, in the living room, in a whole different room. So I call my sister. We both stare at it for 30 seconds. I said, I'm not sleeping in my bedroom. Not that it makes a difference, but because obviously this ghost or paranormal supernatural being was able to walk into my living room, maybe when I was in the kitchen making dinner, and sneak, little prankster, sneak the headphone into my pillowcase, make me go absolutely crazy. When I saw that, I don't want to sleep now. So I was up for another 3 hours. I have to work early in the morning again. I was starting to lose it. I wasn't getting any sleep. So that's my ghost story. I mean, nothing else has happened since. I'll update you if more stuff happens, but got a little prankster ghost here. I mean, I don't feel anything here. But yeah, he took my headphones out of my AirPod case, which is freaky because I knew exactly when it was happening because that's when my AirPods were trying to connect. So I imagine if I had walked in there while that was happening, I might have seen something. But he took it out, decided to reach under all my laundry clothes and stick it to the bottom there, and then come in here and put the other one in my pillowcase, which I found another like 24 hours later. So the haunting of Pog's house is very real. So I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you have any thoughts on this, what you think it might be, or you want to give any stupid theories, try to add to the story as if you know, like my the footsteps I took that day, the path of that day. Oh, Jamie, maybe you forgot that you took the headphone out and stuck it at the bottom of your laundry bin, and then brought the other one and stuck it into the way deep into your pillowcase. Maybe you forgot that you did that. Maybe after you declothed, Jamie, after you declothed and you were just in your boxers and you folded up your pants and your AirPod case fell out, maybe they went shooting out and you didn't see it and it got caught in your sock. And then when you were walking, you accidentally kicked it into your laundry bin. And then and then the other one was in your other sock. And when you were laying on the couch, maybe you stuck your foot in your pillowcase you didn't realize, and it fell out into your pillowcase. Maybe that's a more viable thing that happened. It's unexplainable. It really is. So go in the comments. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, you can agree that this is unexplainable. Like based on the series of events I have laid out for you, it's an unexplainable phenomenon. So whether you believe in ghosts or not, I don't think you can deny that. And if you believe in ghosts, you're like 100%. 100% that was a ghost. And I've talked to a lot of people at work, people I know, that have said, oh yeah, I've experienced things like this, like even more extreme than moving headphones. Like someone said dishes were taken out of all their cabinets and laid out throughout the kitchen and throughout the house. People have obviously seen ghosts. This isn't like the scariest story ever. Like they moved headphones, but it's still freaky. It was the first time I've experienced anything like this. So yeah, the haunting of Pog's house has now ended. And that's the end of the story. And I'll update you more on if more stuff happens. All right, I'm just going to talk about the Grammys really quick. The Grammys were this past weekend. Honestly, great show. Okay, I haven't loved very many award shows lately. Usually I don't, like in past Grammys, they put a lot of artists out there, some newer artists that I don't really know or care about. And this year is banger after banger after banger. Okay, we got Billie Eilish. We had Sabrina Carpenter absolutely steal the show with a phenomenal performance. We had Lady Gaga out there. I love Lady Gaga. Who else we have? We had Charlie XCX did a performance. We had all the new. So they have a category for best new artist. All five of them, or not all. They five of the best new artist nominees. They went bang 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 performance after performance, like bleeding into each other. Phenomenal. Okay, music's in good hands. Music's in good hands. I even had people I liked win the awards. It wasn't like, oh, let's parade these people out here to get viewership up and then give it to like the most random person. Like Sabrina Carpenter won for Record of the Year for Espresso. Perfect. Um, we had Chaperone win for who also had a great performance. Chaperone won an award. Great, love that. Couple negatives though, but you know what? You can't have a great award show without being a little disappointed. And I mean, this isn't going to be a hot take or anything. Like Beyonce winning Country Album of the Year is bullshit. Super rigged. Her little surprised face. Let's get a photo of that right here. Her surprised face when she won. Like she didn't know she was going to win. Like she didn't know her husband was lobbying for her for the last 2 years to win Album of the Year. Just complaining and complaining that how big of a disgrace the Grammys are for not giving Beyonce Album of the Year in her career. You know why? Because she's the most overrated artist that's ever lived. I'm just going to say it. You can come for me, Beehive. I don't care. I don't love Beyonce. I don't like Beyonce. I don't connect with Beyonce on any level. I don't like her music. I don't particularly like her. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I don't like Jay-Z either. Something's fishy about him. But I've never liked Beyonce. You know what the Grammys were missing this year though? A little Rihanna. I like Rihanna. Now that's an artist I can get behind. I've made it quite clear where I stand on the Drake Kendrick beef. I've been listening to Drake since 2008. Listening to his mixtapes on YouTube. I found him on YouTube. This was before he was even on the radio. I was listening to Room for Improvement and Comeback Season. Tons of songs on there on, I think it was called like hip hop, what was it called? Rapstar.com or hiphopnation.com. You could download a bunch of mixtapes and hip hop records and stuff on there. And like, I just found this guy Drake on there and I loved it. I didn't even know him from Degrassi. I was just like, this guy's music's good. I just came across it. And then I heard Best I Ever Had on the radio, Here Forever on the radio. I was like, that's the guy I've been listening to. This guy that no one knew. And he became the biggest star in the world, the biggest musical act in the world. Drake. And I've been deathly loyal to Drake. Ride or die with Drake. I love Drake. Okay? Drake is my guy. Okay? I've been with the ups and the downs. He puts his whole life out there for us. He's super vulnerable. We get to see his wins. We get to see his losses. Okay? That's a great artist. He doesn't hide it from us. He just lets it all out there, lets it hang all loose. And he's been giving us bangers for 2 decades. Bangers. He's one away from breaking Michael Jackson's record for most #1 songs on the Billboard Hot 100. It was tough watching the whole world turn on him when the Kendrick and Drake beef happened because Drake was putting out bangers in that beef. Drake was slamming some heads with a baseball bat. It was a 20v1. He had the whole industry, the whole rap industry, hip hop industry coming after him. You had Kendrick, you had Future, you had Kanye, you had The Weeknd, who's not hip hop or rap, but he was getting in there. Metro Boomin, who's not a rapper, he makes beats. A$AP Rocky, Rick Ross, everyone was coming after Drake, and no one knew why, and we still really don't know. I think it's jealousy. I think it's they wanted to take the king down from his throne. You know, the king that helped a lot of these guys get songs like on the billboards, like Rick Ross, I know helped Weeknd become a superstar when The Weeknd was just a kid from Scarborough just singing in his bathroom. Drake took him and said, hey, want to help me write some songs? Do you want to be on my biggest album, Take Care? You can do Crew Love? Sure. Let's diss him. Let's diss him later. Rick Ross. Kendrick sold 8,000 units of his first album before Drake put his arm around him and said, hey kid, want to come on tour with me? His next album, he sold, 500,000 units. After he went on tour with Drake, Drake put him on the map. Let's just turn our back on that guy. Family Matters. Family Matters is the best diss track from that whole entire beef. I don't care if you like Dancing to Not Like Us. It's not that good of a song. It doesn't age well. Okay, it's not going to age well. Family Matters keeps aging like wine. First line in the third beat switch of Family Matters says, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now. Well, They did. They handed him 5, the Grammy Awards, while he was wearing a Canadian tuxedo, which I did regrettably giggle at a little bit because I more like you asshole. It was more like you asshole. Um, but goes up there, accepts his awards. You know, this guy who stands on his on all these beliefs and trying to be like this Malcolm X type figure, wants to be like Nelson Mandela. He wants to bring the whole world to his. He wants to bring his city together. He wants to be like an activist. Has 5 he gets to give like 2 or 3 speeches. Not once does he call out the music industry, the world, the state of the world, and nothing political, nothing. Just I love making music. He's a phony, guys. He's a phony. Drake, when he went to the Grammys, because we know the Grammys is just a popularity contest. Beyonce winning Country Album of the Year proves that, and Album of the Year over Billie Eilish. Stop it. Drake, when he won his Grammy, goes out there and calls out the Grammys and saying these awards mean nothing. You're winning already. If you have fans listening to your music, buying your music, coming to your shows, you've already won. This award means nothing. And Drake uses his Grammy as a doorstop, and Drake doesn't even submit his music or his albums to the Grammys anymore. So Kendrick can keep winning these fake little awards because Drake wins Billboard awards that are based on stats and facts and numbers. They use the charts. They use streaming numbers. They use sales. And Drake's won 41 of those. And Kendrick's only won, I think, 7? 41-7? So you can use Kendrick's Grammy numbers, but we don't respect the Grammys because the Grammys can be given to anybody. Whoever they want. The Grammys, they vote on it. They do vote on it, but it's kind of like how Amelia Perez is probably going to win Best Picture at the Oscars because it's literally whoever they want, whatever the narrative is. It's not based on anything other than that. Not Like Us did really well. Okay, so I'm not denying that it shouldn't have won a Grammy, but I don't think the Grammys are as prestigious as they're maybe played out to be. So if that's what you're hanging your hat on, Kendrick fans, that he won 5 Grammys for making a Drake diss track record, good for you. Okay, those were the only negatives about the Grammys. I loved it otherwise. I like. Oh, The Weeknd performed. The Weeknd performed. It was so good. And I know he dissed Drake, and I'm going after all, but I can't deny that the Weeknd just keeps putting out like album of the year after album of the year, masterpieces, masterclasses. His new album is, mwah. I've done that like 3 times today. Mwah. So good. Hurry up tomorrow. If you haven't listened to it, hurry up. Go listen to it. Well, talking about Kendrick and Drake's the perfect segue into talking about the Super Bowl. I will not be watching the halftime show. I will be listening to Drake in my bedroom. I don't care about the halftime show. I'm sure everyone's going to be a minor. Let's talk about Drake being a pedophile, even though no single person has come forward and said Drake did this to me or did that, when Kendrick gave them the perfect opportunity to. Okay, when everyone's dogpiling on Drake, where's all these young girls? Where's all these young underage girls that are probably now women now that could capitalize on this, make a little bit of money? Because I mean, we see it all the time in Hollywood. We see it all the time in the music industry. These people come out of the woodwork once the person's vulnerable. And Drake was super vulnerable at this point. So where's all the little girls, all these underage girls that, because Drake's a big pedophile? Where are they? Okay. And I'm not trying to, like, there are a lot of sick pedophiles in Hollywood that you could be going after. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little worried that someone was going to come out and say, what, true or not, whether they were going to come out and accuse Drake of pedalizing them, molesting them, but no one did. And there's plenty of sick freaks out there that have had accusations thrown at them, and that's it. It's disgusting behavior. But Drake is innocent so far, right? So what do you got to say about that? Anyway, I was trying to segue into the Super Bowl. We got Chiefs Eagles. I mean, I left it for last because if you're not a Chiefs fan or an Eagles fan, like, do we care about this? Like, we saw this a few years ago. I feel like I'd be a little bit more excited if the Chiefs were playing like the Commanders or something, because at least we'd have a fresh like team in there. Oh, maybe they'll beat the Chiefs. We already saw the Eagles lose to the Chiefs, and the refs helped them win that one too. That holding call at the end of the game that let the Chiefs run out the clock and kick a field goal. We already saw this, but I'm definitely going to bet on it. So I'll be watching, and I know a lot of people are saying they're going to boycott it, but like, what else are you going to do on a Sunday night at 6 p.m.? Like, you might as well just watch the last football game of the year. It's so hard to cheer for the Eagles, though. Like, that's who we have to cheer for to beat the Chiefs to end the three-peat. I'm a Patriots fan. I don't want the Chiefs to three-peat. I don't want them to be able to use that as a way to crown Patrick Mahomes as the GOAT. Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl. Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in an AFC championship. And the guy was 40 years old, 42 years old when he won the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I don't think it's like, unless Patrick Mahomes wins 10 Super Bowls, I won't never say he's the GOAT. Tom Brady beat him twice in two of the biggest games that Patrick Mahomes could have been in: an AFC championship against the Patriots and then the Super Bowl against the Buccaneers. And Tom Brady beat him both times when it mattered. So I'm not gonna pick him. I'm not gonna bet money line on this because, the Chiefs are probably gonna win. Like, if we're gonna be honest, the Chiefs are probably gonna win, and maybe that's for the best. Maybe we just get this last one out of the way. Maybe we'll get a super unmotivated Patrick Mahomes next year, like a four. They're gonna go for a four-peat. Oh, we're now our new goal is to win 4 in a row and just continue to ruin the NFL. So let them get it out of the way now. I'm not going to bet on it, though. If the Eagles win, I'll be happy about it. Next year, hopefully Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson can pull their socks up and maybe end this little run we're on. But some props I like. I like Jalen Hurts to get a touchdown at -110. I mean, thank you. Free money. I like Travis Kelce. I like Travis Kelce to get in the end zone. I think he'll have a touchdown, but that's not an official pick. So we're going to say Jalen Hurts is an official pick. We're going to do Travis Kelce yards. I think 60 plus is what you can get it at. So 60 plus yards for Travis Kelce. It's usually pretty well utilized in these Super Bowl games. I also like, who else did I like on there? Oh, Patrick Mahomes rushing yards. He runs like a little baby out there. I was going to say a different word, but we'll just call him a baby. And we'll also take Dallas Goedert's receiving yards. They've been using him a lot in the playoffs, so he's going to get his receiving yards out there. But I don't know. I feel like I would have done a little bit more of a preview for the Super Bowl if it had a more fun, fresh matchup. Like if it was Bills Eagles, that's a fun matchup. Man, we're so close to getting that. So close. The refs. I'm not going to get into the refs thing. It's been a couple weeks since then, so like no one wants to hear us complain about the refs anymore. It's done. It's over. But man, Bills Eagles would have been a fun Super Bowl. Josh Allen going. I would have been watching all the interviews and stuff. I have not watched any of the lead up to this Super Bowl. I don't care to hear it on the talk shows, on ESPN, on SportsCenter. I don't care. Whenever it comes on, I'm like, give me my phone. Let me scroll. Let me go look at some stupid memes. I'd rather watch stupid memes than the build up to the Super Bowl. I just don't care. Do you guys care? Do you guys care about the Super Bowl? If you do, you're probably a Chiefs or an Eagles fan or a Kendrick Lamar fan. I'm none of those things. In fact, I dislike all 3 of those things. So yeah, that's it. I gave you, this was a pretty passionate episode. I was talking to you about the ghost in my apartment, the haunting of Pog's house. Do you get that reference? It's like The Haunting of Hill House, which is like probably the greatest miniseries of all time. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It's super scary, but super well written, well directed. Haunting of Hill House, directed by Mike Flanagan on Netflix. It's a play on words of that. So I did a little talk of that. I was pretty passionate about the Grammys. I was excited about the good things, like Sabrina Carpenter being an absolute superstar, and Chappell Roan and Billie Eilish, all great performances the weekend. And then we talked about the boring Super Bowl. So interesting episode of the podcast, definitely. Yeah. I guess I'm going to end it right here. I don't know what to do, a cool little dance move. I'm not going to be able to play Lana Del Rey. I don't know what I got a little copyright thing on my last video, so I'm not going to play any cool music today. See you. Bye. I'm just going to leave. We'll play like the generic music that they have, and I'll just get up and walk away. I don't know why. Okay, hold on. I don't know why I have such an attitude today. I'm sorry. I'm usually more positive person. But once you get me talking about Kendrick Lamar, because I feel like I was in a good mood before I started talking about that. Once you start talking to me about Kendrick Lamar and the Drake beef, I just get frustrated. I can't believe I'm back talking about this. Talk about it in the fourth. We've got the 4th segment here, Kendrick and Drake again. I just think, Kendrick won the battle for sure. Why? Because he called Drake a pedophile. There's no proof of that. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna end it there. Sorry for being negative today. So yeah.